So the new Ford Everest has arrived just a month after the new Ranger ute on which it's based, replacing a 7-year-old model and again aimed directly at the top-selling Toyota Prado, which is almost double that age. Let's go and see if it's got what it takes. The original Ford Everest was launched in 2015, 4 years after the previous Ranger and effectively replacing the Australian-made Territory. But the new one arrives almost simultaneously with the new Ranger, bringing all of its many technical advances. The new Everest was developed down under and based on a third-generation T6 ladder frame, making it the closest thing to a homegrown 4x4 there may ever be. Here we're focusing on the new Everest Platinum flagship, replacing the previous titanium range topper, but this time powered exclusively by a lusty diesel V6 and priced close to $84,000 once it's on the road. So like the new Ranger on which it's based, the new Everest has a bigger footprint, longer wheelbase, wider tracks, and it's punctuated by a bigger, bolder, squarer body with a very similar front end, punctuated by this new C-clamp headlight graphic. It's actually wider at the back, giving it a much squarer proportions and a better, bolder stance on the road. Underneath, the Everest gets its own version of the Ranger's new chassis architecture, ditching the ute's rear leaf springs for coils and a Watts link, but keeping its broader new footprint. But the big news is the huge uplift in towing capacity, from 3,100 to 3,500 kilos, matching most 4x4 utes and the big 300 series Land Cruiser, and bettering almost everything else in its class, including the Prado, but not the Isuzu MU-X. Of course, the other big highlight here lurks under the bonnet, where a muscular V6 turbo diesel makes the Everest unique in its class and gives the Platinum the grunt to match its classy new look. Previously seen in the Ford F-150 and also available in the new Ranger, the new 3-litre Power-stroke diesel is matched to a permanent torque-on-demand 4x4 system with low range, bringing a more broad spread of capability. As per Ranger, while the outputs of the 4-cylinder Panther engine are 154 kilowatts and 500 newton metres, the big new Lion V6 churns out a big 184 kilowatts of power and a class-leading 600 newton metres of torque. So inside the new Everest Platinum, there's a massive step forward in size, space, material quality and technology. The highlight obviously is this new 12-inch colour touchscreen. Even better than that though is this massive 12.4-inch digital instrument cluster straight from the Ranger Raptor, and the only Everest to get it. And all Everest variants come with wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, wireless phone charging, digital radio, sat-nav with traffic updates, voice control, embedded modem, keyless entry and start, dual-zone climate, rain-sensing wipers, full LED exterior lighting, auto-dimming rearview mirror and an electric park brake. On the safety front, all of the expected active and passive safety systems are present and correct. The auto braking system includes reverse, rear cross traffic alert includes trailer coverage, and a total of 9 airbags includes full-length side curtains, while both the Ranger and Everest have just been awarded a 5-star ANCAP safety rating. So as you can see, we've got plenty of rear legroom here in the new Everest. We've also got overhead aircon outlets, we've got USB-C A and C outlets. The centre row slides over a bigger range. We've got cleverly positioned grab rails and footsteps, and a bigger third row that when closed offers a flat loading space and 1823 litres of total luggage space, which brings it just 10 litres short of the Prado. So among the class leading cargo carriers here, and super comfortable for 7 passengers. But it's behind the wheel where the new Everest really impresses, and not so much because of the newfound V6 muscle. Sure, it's more responsive and more tractable and has much broader spread of torque than the bi-turbo 4, but it's also much quieter, smoother and freer revving than the gruff old 3.2 litre inline 5 it replaces. But for anyone familiar with V6 diesel power, it might not be the massive step up that perhaps they were expecting. And like the Amarok V6, it's a bit of a slow burn. Its extensive talents are yet to be realised in a first drive like this, and it's going to take a lot more time in the new Everest, towing, off-roading, to realise this new engine's newfound potential. Throw in sharper steering and more body control during changes of direction, and one of the best ride handling packages in its class just got a whole lot better. The Everest's broader footprint and well-sorted chassis also brings big advantages away from the bitumen, where it feels more stable in bumpy corners at speed, generates less head shake on lumpy terrain, and retains all of its hardcore off-road capability. I was a big fan of the old Ford Everest after spending many miles in it, including a hardcore Simpson desert trip in which it didn't skip a beat. But the new Everest is better in every area, offering class-leading performance and capability. And so it deserves to give the Prado a much better run for its money in showrooms.